Sorry about that. I was just trying to figure out my camera settings. On live is a little different. Hopefully you can hear me all right. My microphone's a little farther away. So far, the paper is on my jelly plate. Let's see. And what I've done is I put paint on the jelly plate, gold, and then I put the leaves down on top of the gold and then took them off and then put paint on top of that. And my last paint was this metallic, folk art metallic. It's pearl white. Even with glasses, I need a mic. 659 pearl white. Premium acrylic paint from folk art and metallic. So it'll have this little diamond on the lid. And I find these at Walmart here, but I'm in Canada, so it may not be in your Walmart. But remember, I started with gold, so it's very shiny. So that was that one. Then a few prints playing with the leaves. This one you can't really see very much, but still. But I'm just looking for something that looks like something you would see in fall, or my idea of what fall would look like. So these are real leaves from my backyard. I did post two digitals on my Ko-fi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I did post it on Facebook. So if you want to get these, the two that I made on my scanner and print them for yourself, it's just the leaves in one picture, and then the other one is leaves with a background that I made on dyed paper. They are free, but if you want to send me a few little things, a few dollars for it, you can. If you don't have money, that's fine. I'm not asking. I just want you to enjoy the prints. I'm not sure if I'll photocopy these ones because the metallic doesn't always show up on the scanner. This one might though. This is Destrss Oxide, my one and only Destrss Oxide. Crushed lime, I believe. Crushed olive. I put a few drops over here. I feel my camera's backwards. A few drops over here, and then I use this, and the brayer and on top the leaves. And then I used that gold again on that. And I used some of this crimson temper paint. It's from Dollar Tree. That's the reddish color you see here. And on this one too. You see a little bit of the red. Sometimes with the leaves already on the plate, then you put the brayer and put the paper on top of the leaves on the plate. That's how you get these little imprints of the leaves. I'm going to do another one just to show you. So I gathered these leaves yesterday from my yard. And I put them in a Ziploc bag overnight. Oh, this way or that way? I don't know if it matters. One side of the leaf is more textured than the other. We'll see what happens. They're playing. This is probably the largest one I have. That's before paint. I like this leaf. It's very cool. It's all spotty. I only have one kind of tree in my backyard, so I'm gonna use the crushed olive again. Now I'm wishing I had more of this. Put 2 or 3 drops on my non-stick mat. The mat I got from No Frills, the grocery store. It's for the barbecue. This was, when I bought it, it was $8. And now it's probably $15. Because everything's gone up. But they're real slowly, or they're going to move on you. Well, they're going to move anyway. But once the paint goes down, they generally will stick. I haven't seen any of the... Oh, hi, everyone. MK Artful Journey. Anna, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, thank you. I have done this before with the summer leaves. Hubby hadn't mowed the backyard for a very long time, and it grew up, and there was all kinds of weeds and stuff. These big, gigantic, leafy, awful plant, but the leaves were huge. I will repeat it. I have a Ko-fi, if anyone's interested, where I put these leaves before I put any paint on them on my scanner and scan them in and then put them on my Ko-fi so you can get a printable if you're interested. Now this does take longer to dry, but not too long. In my climate, it's very humid usually, but today windows are shut, so it's very dry in here. So it's drying fast. Now I'm going to try the, it is a pearl paint, metallic from Folk Art. I don't know if that's readable. Shiny things tend to not be. So it's fairly clear. And yes, I'm putting it on the leaves this time. Experimenting. It is better to go slower because it's going to pick up the leaves. If you don't like tedious things, don't do this. It's very tedious. But the effect is cool. You're hearing my door come. Hubby's coming home. Sounds good, Goldie. Steph. You can use the petals of flowers too. Hi.
We'll talk when you're done.
Okay.
Hello, just passing through.
Microphone probably picks up your voice better than mine.
I do project a little more, but you're fine. I can hear you.
Yes, see, this is before, so you don't get much of anything other than the outline of the leaves. If you're really good, you can do the registration and put them back exactly where they were in print. I'm not so good at it. So I'm going to try and turn them over and see if I can get any of this paint off. Oh, which side that one was on. Oh, they're too dry. Like I said, it's dry in here. Yeah, I like the opposites too. What you can do after is draw in the leaves if you want with markers, or you could use a little bit of watercolor and just kind of let it bloom in the spots where the leaves were. That looks cool too. Ideas are flowing today. I do apologize. I'm going to try this crimson again. I don't have very much of it. However, if you're in a climate that's not quite drying as fast, wait for your paint to dry if you want to see a really cool print. See, mine's dry already. I like using my jelly plate this time of year. You're trying to do it in the summer when it's really humid. Everything sticks and it just makes a mess. Here, anyway. This I can spray water on. This paper that I'm using has these marble green spots in it. This is linen paper, so it's got cotton in it. I think this is my last sheet. Printer paper is fine, like 20-poundish or more if you can use it. Hummel, I think it's called. This is a good paper for jelly printing. However, it's also good for printing with your printer, so I tend not to use it for my jelly plate. I try to buy other paper if I can find it. I'm hoping I'm giving you lots of ideas. There's so many different ways that you can play with this jelly plate. You'll never run out of ideas. I do like that cheap paint because look how clean my plate is now. Put the edges. And that's kind of disappointing, but I expected it because this is almost clear paint. So it's white, it's not going to show up. When it dries more on the paper, you will see it. You get a reflective kind of thing going on. I'm glad you all came today to see me play or get messy, which is normal. I think I like the gold better. I have this other ink, but it's comes in this little jar. It's by Spectrum Noir. And it's got a lot of sparkle in it. I can't remember the word for that. You probably do though. And this is Spectrum Noir Sparkles. It is ink. It's glitter ink is what it's called. I've only got two colors. I have this pink champagne, and I've used quite a bit because you can add this to the sprayer, but you got to be careful because the powder that's in here that you have to shake up will clog your sprayers. The other one I have is called, again, need this thing. I have glasses and I still need it. It's still sparkling. It's only 11 ounces, 30 mils, glitter ink. And this one is called Starry Sky. So it's a very like cobalt blue kind of color. And again, it's got a lot of mica. That's mica powder. That's what it's called. I got these from Keisha Market, whatever she called it. I think I paid like $4 each, maybe. Whereas if I tried to buy these anywhere here, if I could find them here, which is not likely, they're probably $20 or more, even on Amazon. And what I do is I get one of these, a dropper. So there's not very much in there because you only need, like I used with the other one, 3 drops because it's so liquidy. I've never used this on the plate, so I don't know. It's the same thing with this stuff. I only used like 3 drops. Because it's going to mix with whatever I have on the mat, so it's not going to be pure. And you probably won't see it. Have to be fast. Just have a feeling it's going to dry really quick. It's a champagne pink. It has very little pink, a very tinge of pink. It's not bold at all. Thank you, MK. That's Mary. K. I'll just say K. That is true. I shouldn't apologize. I love to experiment. I even experiment when I'm cooking. Sometimes it's not so good. Most of the time it turns out pretty good. Okay, so I didn't get that much of the leaves, but I did get some of that right there. But like I said, I wasn't expecting to get much. I'm going to use gold on top of this because I cannot see it. I don't know if you can. There is very slight leaves on there, like skeleton ghosts of leaves. So I'm not in any hurry to put on another layer of paint because I don't know if it's dry. I can't see. I guess my cats are being cute.
Curled up on the chair together. You're adorable.
They're always adorable. They're cats. Now, normally I use like an old magazine or something for the roll-offs, or I use other paper that I've used on my printer that misprints or whatever. Then I save those and I use those as well. As you can see, I'm not going crazy with the layer and rolling everywhere. I'm going to try this paper, which is rice paper off of Timu. Usually I cut it in half because my plate's only 8 by 8. I don't have a big plate. I will tell you that sometimes leaving your print on longer than normal, depending on your paper. Printer paper will stick and tear, so I don't leave it on. But something that has more consistency, like the linen paper or 26-pound or higher paper, or even not cardboard, cardstock will sometimes work too, but it can stick and tear as well. I will when he comes back. And yes. Okay, he went upstairs, so he's not going to hear me. So again, I wouldn't call this a fail because I can use it for something else. Sometimes what I find after, though, when it dries more, which is not going to, this is really dry, on your on this rice paper, I get more definition. But I don't think I will with this. There's nothing on there. It's very dry. But what we can do is make more leaves. Hubby, somebody from Switzerland says hi. Is it Annie and Ania? I can't say it. Hi, Queen Bee. Well, welcome, everyone. The bonus to that one is I get to reprint it. I think the leaves work better when I put them down with the more texture side. And the ones that already have the paint on will adhere better to your plate. Side. I like the tiny leaves. What color should I try now? That's if I have it. It's just still wet. I don't think I get enough paint on there. Small space. Going to try this color shift. It's black gold, I believe. That's what I call it anyway. Black flash. So it turns gold after. It's very interesting. If you like grunge, grungy prints and grungy papers, this works really well. I want the leaves to get it. I'm putting too much on. I know, but I want to get the leaves. And yes, it is flash, so it's going to be very shiny. If you've never used the color shifts, okay, yes, I am spreading it with the brayer and then turning the leaves over. There we go. Little leaves. And I'm not going to remember where I had them in the first place. It's going to be a distorted print, but it's going to be kind of neat. I never had one that I didn't like when I used this flash stuff. Where'd you go? But now I'm just trying to get a print off the leaves, not necessarily the plate itself. But you get those. This is my jar of gesso. I don't have one of those wooden things that people talk about, but I don't need it. This works fine. Okay. Finally, I expected that to happen a lot sooner. The leaves stuck, which generally means you're going to get a good print. The bonus to this too is the more paint you get on your leaves, the longer they will last. Because there's too much paint, so it's making these other marks. It's kind of neat. I can see the leaves through here. Just trying to get more paint off. So this will dry. Well, we waited for it to dry because there's more paint than normal. Anybody have any questions for me? That's a good idea. Contrasting color. I think the red would work with this. What I'd like to do is get a white that'll pick up, but most of the whites I have don't work well on the jelly plate. You got a hello from one of the ladies in chat.
Are you still live?
She's from Switzerland.
Are you still live?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You disturbed the cats. How dare you?
Oh.
They both just poke their heads up.
Yeah, because they think, dinner, Mom's going to feed me.
At this time of day? No. Hi.
Hi. Want to join in?
I had a little adventure, but we can talk about that when you're done.
You didn't buy us any pizza, did you? Oh, bummer.
With what money? I don't have money.
Yeah, money.
I'm not even sure what money looks like anymore.
Yeah. So the other paper that I like to use is this. It's from Timu as well. It's just tracing paper. But it's super thin. And yes, it will tear on the jelly plate.
Yeah, you can spit through it.
Yeah,
practically.
pretty much.
Okay, I'm going to go have my sandwich.
Okay.
Enjoy.
I will.
And hello to whoever said hello. And goodbye. I'm going to go have my late lunch.
I cannot pronounce her name properly, but it's like Anna, A-N, Zuland.
Is it Anina or Anina?
It could be Anina.
I never know how to pronounce names like that.
I've seen her in chat a lot, but I can never. There we go. Okay. Gold paper would be cool.
I love gold. Sorry.
If I want gold paper, I have to paint it gold because I don't have gold paper.
Okay.
Stuff.
I'd be upstairs. Enjoy.
She wanted me to use a contrasting color, but when I use contrasting color to what's on the plate, and I don't think you can even see it.
I'm not the person to ask. My vision's a bit warped at the moment.
Yeah, well, so's mine.
Go kittens.
Collage with your scanned leaves and your jelly.
Isn't it? Okay.
What's my favorite? Lately, it's the It's from our grocery store from No Frills, that's what's called. It would something pizza from it's their president's choice, so no name version. And it's meat lover, so there's all kinds of meat on it. Hubby likes his mushrooms and spinach pizza. Second version. Okay, I will let him know. And he'll tell me which one of that was, because my brain is not working. Oh. Anina? That one? If I had purple, I'd use it. I don't think I have the purple. Brown. Purple. It's another one from Dollar Tree. I don't think this is dry yet. Still looks kind of wet. The thing I hate about this, I'm going to have to clean all this up after. Okay, he watches, I think he's got a gamer on YouTube that's in Switzerland or is Swiss. They're generally better at figuring out names than I am. Let's try the purple and see. Hopefully all the blobs are dry. Generally, I find paint this paint is more liquidy. So it's a little, I guess the word opaque, less opaque. It's not, although the more expensive paints do work nicely too. They give you a different effect. Too much. This is where you have the roll-offs that are good. Right, taking off some of the paint. Because in this case, when you're picking it up, less is more. The more that you can see your print underneath the color, your pickup color, the better. At least that's how my take on it. Let's try this rice paper again. I don't like it when it does that. They're both good pieces. But he likes his spinach and mushroom. What I do is I add mushrooms to his spinach pizza because they don't have one in that brand with mushrooms and spinach. So I cut up mushrooms for him. Smaller pieces are better on a pizza. I find them with big pieces. They don't burn you then. But I think they're here. We can sometimes get them for $4, which is very cheap. Between $4 and $6, which isn't bad for pizza. I mean, you can buy it and order it, but then it's going to cost you. For us, it costs $50 or more to order. And it's cheaper for us to buy those other pizzas and add to them than to make our own. Because there is no way you can buy the flour, whatever flour you want to use, and all the stuff to make the crust, and then add the topping. You're gonna pay more than $4. If I rub this too much, it will tear. So I didn't get it all this time, but got some nice leaf impressions. Yeah, roll effect. It rolls when it gets wet. And this rice paper, it does feel like rice paper, but I don't think it's as nice as the more expensive rice paper. If you see the leaf. Is that more of a contrast for you? I know I have a color wheel. I just don't really use it. That's really dry now, so it's very sparkly. Okay, wrong way, Sherry. We're gonna put something else on there. I want to see what I get off the plate. Let's see how dry, how fast it dries. The tissue paper is not quite big enough. And this tissue does make nice collage paper, but it doesn't make your paper too thick. Yeah, I can't see that. Yeah, I could see it, but you couldn't. There. And all I did was use the pearl paint on top, and it turned purple. That's how much paint was still on the jelly plate. I do too. I want that to come up, but I think the black will work. This is opaque airbrush colors. It's black though. It's very, very black. I have no idea where I got this from. It's a Create Text brand. I may have got it at Dollar Tree. But the bottle it's hard. It won't squeeze. So we'll see what kind of metallics show up. Again, because this paint is thin, if I can get the paper to it before it dries on the plate. It would be better if I was ready. Well, the paper I just grabbed, I found this at a thrift store. It's a practice pad of calligraphy paper, white. I do have some calligraphy paper that's more this color, this orangey color. I haven't printed with it because it has a lot of texture, so it might look really cool. But this, I don't know, does it say what pound it, how much pound the paper is? Because it doesn't really say. But it feels like marker paper. Crayola makes a pad of marker paper. I've used that on my jelly plate, and I like it. If I can find it, I will use it. But I use whatever I can find. It doesn't matter. I would like to get the edges off. The edges don't come off. Don't worry about it. You can use clear tape. Like packing tape works nicely, although I find it hard to use packing tape. But you can use Scotch tape will work. Any clear tape. I don't know about the dollar store 2P tape, but I'm sure it would work. Just to take the stuff that you get stuck on the edges of your plate. And I've heard that some people will layer their plate with paints and oh wow, this turned out really cool. And leave the paper on overnight and then take it off. Look at that, how clean that is. Some of what you're seeing is on my glass plate, not on the jelly plate. But look, we took off the edges. I don't know if you can see. I can see the leaf prints on here. See, and they are metallic-y, so they're going to shine eventually. I hope you can see that. There's a leaf right here, here. It's a partial here, and then one over here. The tissue paper or the tracing paper is thin. This is not quite so thin. You can kind of see through it, but I can see a leaf there. Okay, which paper is thin? You're asking. I wish they would stay where I put them. I have an idea though. This is my yellow color shift. So gloss metallic. This stuff is really cool. Oh, I know what we can use. Dragon. This is Folk Art Dragonfly glaze, so it's very clear. And when it dries, it kind of looks sort of like that. I don't know if you can see it. It's not gonna. You're not gonna see that. I don't think it'll show up on the plate because it's not that color. It's super clear, but it will help the leaves stick, and that's what I want. I don't know if you can see the colors change coming out. Okay. I don't want to stay. I have tried some book papers. This is the ones that I had. They've kind of stuck, tore, so I didn't get a good jelly print from them. But some of the newer book pages I had worked fine. Okay, that one's not going to stay. Okay, the paint's getting dry, and that's why it's not staying. So some of these little ones, they're trying to make it so they don't, so the brayer doesn't take them off. See that black still on the jelly plate. Printed. So you're going to see anything on there. At least there's little hints, but more so on that side. I'm always amazed about how much paint is still left on the plate. Oh, that's just these. It is fun to play with the different papers that you can find. But I like this, the tissue. tracing paper. There are thicker tracing papers. I even have one that's vellum paper, and that works on the jelly plate as well. It doesn't tear. Vellum doesn't tear as much. Like this stuff will tear if it gets too wet. You know what happens to tissue paper when it gets wet? This still does the same thing. But it does make for really nice prints. If you crumple it up and use it as a texture thing, you get lots of crinkles and wrinkles on your plate, so that you can use that as a print as well. They're like the dragonfly. Glaze, whatever the glaze is, it's sticky, so stuff will stay on the plate better. Now I don't know what color to use because this looks kind of reddish purpley gold. That would look really cool, yeah. The only reason I don't really like vellum because it gets wet, it curls worse than you've seen this other stuff curl, depending on how thick the vellum is. And gluing it down, you have to use double-sided tape. Glue doesn't usually work because it's very plasticky. That's not a word. Keep using the same colors and expect to get a better effect. It's not going to work. I want some orange. Let's mix the orange and the red. Again, dollar store paints, so they're not the greatest. And my paints are old. This is Tuscan red. There's probably not Tuscan red that you would think of because it's cheap dollar store acrylic paint. And I'm not sure whether this is Dollarama or Dollar Tree. I haven't been to a Dollar Tree in ages because there isn't one anywhere near us. Walking distance is best. I have a feeling the leaves are gonna move anyway. I figured that would happen. I was hoping it would stay. Oh well. When they have more paint on them, they tend to stay better. Or so you thought. like I said, tedious. I'm going to tap. I'm not going to push it down too much. I'm just going to tap. You probably can't see it. See, just looking for bits of color. I'm going to do that same technique on this paper to put more leaves on it after. A lot of these leaves are over the plate. And I like to do, what I do is I take this print on the one side and then I take the other print on the back, this side. So we'll see what happens. You're not going to get much because, like you said, it's still dry in here. Everything is drying faster than anything. But my leaves look cool. Don't get very much. Like I said, see, it's still paint on the leaves. If you just take the leaf and you push it down on the paper, on another paper, and hope you get a print. It doesn't always work. This one will. What I can do later is take some of these paints, put them on part of the plate, and just use it to, like a stamp, to make more leaf marks on the papers that don't have very much leaf marks. Because the one I was just pushing some of these on, and they're drying really fast. But now look at that purple paper. I don't know if it's showing up much. Can you see it? See the prints from the leaves that I used like stamps? Good night. And Anina. Yes, sleep well. There's quite a lot of paint right there. Over here. It's gonna have to dry for a bit. Sometimes I use a battery operated fan to help cool it off. Or not cool it off, but dry it faster. Or you can use a hair dryer that has a cool setting, and put it on cool. Keep it on cool. And that works well too. Yes. I'm thinking I'm going to try this is called light blue 2523, I believe. Nope, 2923. Wow, was I off? It's Folk Art Multi-Surface Satin Light Blue. So it's another paint. I don't have no idea what that means. Okay, multi-surface, so it can be used on many things. That's why it shows those. Now, it may look, in my light, it's very light. But it's very light. When it comes up, let's see, I don't know if you can see the color there on the paint, but it's light. I could mix that with the pearl. It's a white pearl. It's more pearl than white, but yeah. I don't know if you can see all the stuff on the plate. Wrong way. What I used to do is turn it over, but you can't see much with this one anyway because the glass is marbled. But if I had a clear one on both sides, you could see the plate. See what's actually on the plate. I'm impatient, but I can see it's still wet. I also have a video where I take white acrylic paint. This is from North Shore. It's the one I get at Walmart. Again, a big bottle because I use a lot of white. White paint, and put a mixture of white paint and a Floetrol or something that makes your paint flow a little bit more. That paint is super thick now because it's been sitting for a while. And I used that. I put that down, not a thick coat, but fairly thin coat. And what I do is I use my homemade sprays. So whatever inks I have or whatever, and then I spray on top of that. You can use a stencil with the sprays, but doesn't always come out like the stencil, but it does make a cool effect on your papers. I wanted to try that on black paper because it looked cool. This is dry. This is still wet in some areas, so we may get some blending. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes blending is good. because I'm not going to mix it this time. Stick. I'm not going to mix it with the pearl, but I could. See how it's cracking on the plate? Because it's drying super fast. Doesn't have to be fast. I don't exactly get it right on the plate all the time. Then I'm going to leave this on here for a bit. Sometimes because I have it on this glass plate. Yes, it drives me crazy because it moves. But I can also go like this. It's going to make noise because hear the bevel. I'm not going to do it alone. But I can press it this way. Which I find it helps when you see how well the paper is on the. It makes it gives it really good contact. This is not quite like a Baron because it's got this, so the only part that you're getting on there is the ring because it's not quite flat. It'd be nice if it was completely flat. This isn't either because there's writing on the lid. There it is. It's embossed. It says Mart. I have never showed that up. It hasn't showed up on the plate, but if you push hard enough, it probably would. If I use something like this, my Lysol, because it's flat, but there's still marks on here. This, even though it's a little bit more pricey, this satin paint, it doesn't always come up completely clean like the cheap paint that I was using. But the longer you leave it, the better. I think you're going to like this one. How's that? And these spots here, if you don't like what it is, you can doodle, you can draw in your own leaf. Or you can doodle, like Zentangle it. I'm not good at Zentangling. But you can make some really cool papers. Yes, I like this one. It did turn out great. You can really feel the leaf ridges. I don't know if you can see any of the metallic. Camera doesn't always pick up the metallic. I like this one. This one. So did I do enough? Or should I keep going? Oh, I can. Yeah, that's on light colors. There's gold and yellow and a hint of red on that paper. But look at the shine. It may not show up on the camera with the shine of the leaves. If I try to scan that, it'll look kind of neat. That was the other side. It still needs more printing on it. "15 minutes, yeah. I'm gonna have to feed the animals soon. They eat at 5, my time. And it's 4:33 here right now. That one. And you can always do more than one session with your papers. You can always add another color on top of this, or even use matte medium clear and put another coat on top. See, I'm trying to get it to show you the, I don't know, sort of see it, but it's a sparkle. I also remember I took the leaves and I did some printing on this one already. And that's the purple, so I have it done on black, so it's not showing up as much in the camera, but it is purple. And then there's the black one, which has a very slight edge. I see turquoise, blue, maybe a little purple. One thing I want to try though. These are water-soluble, non-toxic Brea Reese watercolor creams is what they're called. I would like to get a set of normal colors, but these are neons, so they're very bright, and when you put them on the plate, they're see-through. You don't see them. So what I want to try, because they're like crayon, they're kind of like a wax. I want to see. It's there, but it's very faint. Let's try the blue. Okay, that's why I don't put it on the bottom. I guess these would be like, what are those ones called that everybody likes to use? They look like lip gloss or lipstick in those tubes. They're kind of like that, but they're not as, they don't have as much color in them. I can't think of the word. Let's try the blue. You have to be cautious though with this because they are watercolor. So don't spray anything on your plate. What's the lid to that one? Let's try the orange. I would assume this will work with any kind of watercolor crayon that you might have, even the cheap ones. Now I can see the faint outline of some of the leaves on the jelly plate. But this color, these paints are, like I said, they're very opaque, I think is the word. See-through. So I don't know if anything's going to show up. And I lost the lid. I'll look after. What I want to do is see. I'm going to have quite a mess to clean up. Cows, chickens, turkeys, peacocks, dogs, and cats. Wow. You must have farmland. I live in the city. And I hate it. We both don't like it, but we don't have the means to move anywhere. What I want to see is if the ink will if you'll be able to see where the leaves are. But no, I don't see them yet. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're coming out. I don't know if you can see that. Red, gold. They seem to show up more when you add more ink. Oh, nice. Martiza, hi, and welcome. I want to do more lives, but I don't know if that will happen. My days are very sporadic. I never know how I'm feeling from one day to the next. Okay, jelly plate's dry. Let's see what the purple will do. Okay, mixing with the Destrss Oxide. see what we get. I was mixing with the Destrss Oxides. Bye, Steph. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something that you want to try. And nope, they didn't show up. At least not yet. I can see hints. There's one there, but they didn't show up. Oh wait, yes, there's one there. They very ghost. Ghost leaves. I don't know if they show up on camera, but I can see that. I mean, I'm assuming if you used better quality watercolor paints, we're gonna try the different ones. Because I have these, the Portfolios, and it's water-soluble oil pastels, so I don't find them as creamy as those other ones, but they're not as see-through, depending on which color you use. There's, these weren't cheap. I paid over $30 for these a while ago. I think they are made by Crayola. I'm not sure. It doesn't say on here. But they have some neat effects. But I haven't used them that much on the Gelli plate. But there's more colors. So let's try it again. This one. My leaves are going to be quite multicolored. There. And these ones are still kind of wet. I don't know if it'll transfer at all. I think if you had leaves or flowers, like flower petals that have a lot of texture, this would work better. Because the more texture the item is, the more of you're getting a rub effect. And I'm just going to keep. So, not my favorite color. I am going to rub with my this time I'm going to put paper on top of the leaves and try to give more of an impression. These are not as creamy as those other ones. So it's going to just break if I try to color on it. These work well for mark making on the jelly plate as well. These are some scribbles and or that writing, and then use your paint to pick it up. You may have to use it more than one time to get it off. So I don't like to do that. I'm also trying to use the heat from my hands to help the crayon transfer to the plate. I'm making a shadow. Yeah, I don't see anything. You know what? Let's leave them on. I don't think that worked very well. That was the yellow color shift. This is the pearl. I'm mixing colors again. A little bit of gold. A little bit of this red. Oh, this is a cheap dollar store roller. In a pinch, if you can't get a brayer, or you can't afford a brayer, this will work. Well, the crayon did help them stay on the plate better. Somewhat, anyway. use that black paper. This one. Not very chatty. Then again, I'm not talking very much either. Okay. I just wanted to get some of the paint off the leaves. Right. This one needs more layers. I didn't show the other ones that I did. The table's not quite big enough. I'm not getting it. Okay. That one has some of the blue. The other thing is this leaves different marks than the regular Brea. At least it used to. When it was new, it was fluffier. Yeah. There's a lot of tissue paper. Okay, we used multiple colors on this one already, so I don't know what color to use. Actually thinking the clear would work better. No. I have two of these. This one is more of a purpley color, but it comes out more clear. That's another dragonfly glaze. It's, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of turquoise and then a little bit of purple. And this one is a little bit on the orangey red side. I think I'm going to try that one again. Okay, it's dry now. This is going to be the last print for today. We'll see what happens with this one. So I'm going to leave it on for a little bit. I try to do this on the tissue, on the tracing paper. It will tear. That's why I put the paper on top so that it doesn't tear. Besides, it didn't quite cover the plate, so there's going to be some marks on this paper. As you can see, multiple colors. The one thing I've learned, though, if your plate feels cold to touch, then the paper is still wet. And you may not get all the stuff off the plate if it still feels that cold. When it starts to feel more room temperature-ish, whatever your room temperature is, that's when you need to take it off. This, because it's a thin paper, it may tear. I'm hoping if I can take it off carefully, it won't. It's not feeling as wet anymore. Because the metallic paint is sticky, it has a tendency to tear. Okay, it's very faint because I used the pearl. But I don't know if you can see that. There. Oh, we're going to have a visitor, I think. It is after 5. It is 5:03 here. You coming, Coco? Yeah, you see her feet. Trying to get the kitty. Here. There's the kitty. She doesn't like the jelly plate, so she won't step on it. Here she is. Yeah. Okay, enough torture. You're not going to leave me alone, are you? I think we're going to try to put some purple on there. See what happens. Still can't see any of the crayon, though. That's kind of disappointing. But it was fun to play. Interesting colors. Also, because my paints are old. Because it's tissue. Translucent paper. Put it color on the back. Okay, when you glue it down on another piece of paper or whatever, you'll see both colors because it's very translucent. It almost disappears when you glue this down. It disappears more than a napkin does. Now I'm just putting color on. I'm not doing anything. I'm not expecting to get any leaf prints or the crayon up, even though I did see it on the plate. I'll have to try with different crayons. I wonder if those Destrss crayons would work. I don't have any of those. Okay, this was the back of that same paper. I like that color. I like the way the colors went. Yeah. Turn it over. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it anymore. Well, I can see it, but it's still very faint. Wait, if I took a picture of it, it would work. But I am going to say goodbye now. Before the cat gets even more pushy about his dinner or her dinner. And I'm just going to do a quick show and tell of the papers. I can't see anything in there unless you tilt it and you can see the leaf impression. That was the pearl. Uh-oh. Somebody's calling. It's a good thing hubby's home. This is the one with the Destrss Oxide. That's the greenish color because this is crushed olive. It's almost empty. And then it's the this crimson dollar store paint is the reddish color. And there's gold in there too. This is my favorite print today so far. Besides purple, because I like purple. Oh, that's right. Move my camera back down. There, that's better. Sorry. So that one was another one. I like this one. This is a gold. It almost looks like rose gold. But it's a nice print. And yes, there's some on the back as well. This one you can see a leaf. Again, gold and the crimson red. And that was a stencil on the bottom. And I used this again. That's what the curlies are this color. That is the black color shift. I call it black gold, but it's just black color shift. This. Black flash, that's what that one is. I wish I had more colors of the flash paints. They do jelly paint very well. In general, if you're just making painty papers, that works. You see the different colors in there? I think I used some of that dragonfly stuff in this one as well. That's where you're getting the shift. Okay. I think this is the best one, but that's me. And it's tissue paper, which is very see-through, so you can't see. There's nothing on the back of this one yet. So I might put something on the back of that. That's the purple and the pearl. It's some of the Tuscan red. This one is the one that has the one I just did. So it's got a print on one side with the leaves, and they're starting to show up better now. And then just the purple and the orange on the back. So it's very sparkly. I like this one. The more it dries, the more I seem to like it. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. And I've got cleaning to do. Well, thank you for coming. Oh, hi, Happy Maker. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give me a thumbs up. And I will definitely try to go live more often and maybe do some videotapes of the video of the prints. They look better when I take pictures than the photo with this camera. So maybe I'll do that and put that in the, what do you call that? When I save this video, I'll put it as the cover photo. I'm sorry you come in and I'm leaving. So it's after 5 here, 5 p.m. So I got to start dinner and I got to feed my kitty cats. So I will see you all soon. I'm glad you came and I'm glad you said hi, and I will see you again another time. Thanks for watching. Here comes a kitty. She wants her dinner. So again, thank you. I probably said that 3 or 4 times. I repeat myself a lot. But I'm glad to be back making some videos and some lives. Hopefully I can keep up and do more. So thank you all for coming and sharing your thoughts, and have a nice evening or morning, depending on where you are. Bye all.